Assalamualaikum. In this video, we're going to learn about descriptive text, one of the lessons in 10th grade of high school. With me, Bu Ica in SMA Negeri 2 Lamongan. There are 5 points that we're going to learn here. The first one is the definition. The second one is the communicative purpose. The third one is the object of writing. The fourth one is generic structure. And the last one is language features. Let's talk about it one by one. First of all, let's define what descriptive text is. Descriptive text is a kind of text that describes something or someone in particular. Dalam bahasa Indonesia, descriptive text itu adalah jenis teks yang mendeskripsikan tentang seseorang atau sesuatu secara khusus. So, if you want to describe someone or something, you can use descriptive text. Jadi, kalau kalian ingin mendeskripsikan seseorang atau sesuatu secara khusus, kalian bisa menggunakan descriptive text. Now, we go to the second point, the communicative purpose. What is the descriptive text written for? The communicative purpose of the text is to describe something or someone specifically to the readers in particular or details. Jadi, sama halnya dengan definisinya, tujuan ditulisnya teks deskriptif itu adalah untuk mendeskripsikan seseorang atau sesuatu secara khusus, secara detail. Okay guys, now let's move to the third point, the object of writing. So, what kinds of objects can we discuss in the descriptive text? First, you can talk about people in particular. For example, if you want to describe a famous athlete like Cristiano Ronaldo, Pratama Arhan, and many others, you can use one of them as the object of your writing. Next, you can also talk about things around you. For example, maybe if you want to describe things like guitar, air conditioner, mobile phone, and many other things that you want to describe. In descriptive text, you can also talk about tourism place like Borobudur Temple, Prambanan, Danau Toba, and many others. City like Lamongan, Semarang, Surabaya, and many others. And also, you can talk about country like Indonesia, Malaysia, India, and many other countries. Jadi di sini kalian bisa mengangkat objek-objek seperti orang-orang tertentu, kemudian benda-benda tertentu, objek pariwisata, kota, negara, ataupun profil perusahaan. Kalian bisa mengangkat hal-hal yang sifatnya spesifik untuk menjadi objek di dalam descriptive text. Okay guys, now let's move to the fourth point, that is the generic structures of descriptive text. Here, there are only two structures of the text. The first one is identification and the second one is description. In identification part, it introduces or identifies the object that we want to describe. And in the description part, it contains the description of the object specifically. It can be the physical appearance, it can be the characteristics, and many other detailed information of the object. Oke anak-anak, jadi di dalam descriptive text itu hanya tersusun dari dua structures. Yang pertama adalah identification dan yang kedua adalah description. Di dalam identification part, di sini kalian mengenalkan atau mengidentifikasi objek yang akan kalian deskripsikan. Sedangkan di part yang description, di situ kalian menjelaskan atau mendeskripsikan secara rinci tentang objek yang kalian ambil. Okay guys, from this point, have you understood my explanation? I hope so. Now let's go to the last point. It is about language features of descriptive text. There are 4 points that we are going to discuss here. The first one is specific participant. Jadi specific participant di sini adalah objek tertentu, tidak bersifat umum. For example, if we want to describe about Uncle Jack, so the specific participant here is Uncle Jack. Or if you want to describe Borobudur Temple, in this case, specific participant is Borobudur Temple, and etc. The second features is the use of adjective, or in bahasa Indonesia we call it kata sifat. It functions as a noun modifier, atau dalam bahasa Indonesia berfungsi sebagai penjelas kata benda. For example, the rich boy. So what do you think? Which one is adjective? Rich or boy? Yes, in this case, rich has the function as an adjective. It modifies the boy. Jadi di sini frase rich boy itu yang sebagai adjektifnya adalah yang rich. Kenapa? Karena dia berfungsi menjelaskan the boy. Maybe we can have other examples of adjective like beautiful, pretty, amazing, great, supportive, and many other adjectives that we can use to describe a noun. Jadi poinnya adalah bahwa penggunaan adjektif atau kata sifat itu digunakan untuk memberikan sifat pada sebuah kata benda. Now, maybe you can practice by yourself to explore more other adjectives that you can use to make a descriptive text based on the two photos of athlete in the video. Before going to the use of simple present tense, let's jump to the fourth features, that is the use of action verbs. Or in Bahasa Indonesia, we call it kata kerja aksi. It expresses what the person or animal or the object can do. For example, like run, walk, practice, do, and etc. Those verbs are the example of action verbs because they show an action being performed. Jadi kata kerja aksi itu adalah kata kerja yang menunjukkan aksi, yang kita bisa melihat aksi tersebut dilakukan oleh subjeknya. Contohnya jalan, lari, bernyanyi, dan contoh-contoh yang menunjukkan sebuah aksi. Okay guys, we've come to the last features of descriptive text, that is the use of simple present tense. There are two kinds of sentence here, and the first one we talk about nominal sentence. Nominal sentence is a sentence which doesn't have a verb. It only has the complements consisting of adjective, noun, and adverb. So, the use of to be in a nominal sentence is a must. And if you look at the video, there are only 3 to be that you can use in a simple present tense. They are am, is, and are. Jadi, kalimat nominal dalam simple present tense itu tidak mempunyai verb. Dia hanya diikuti oleh komplement yang terdiri dari kata sifat, kata benda, dan juga kata keterangan. Sehingga bagi kalimat yang tidak mempunyai verb itu harus atau wajib menggunakan to be di dalamnya. Dan to be yang digunakan dalam kalimat simple present itu hanya 3, yaitu is, am, are. Am untuk subjek I, is untuk subjek he, she, it, and are untuk subjek you, they, we. You can take a look at the examples of simple present tense in the video. He is a teacher, I am smart, we are a group of students, and maybe you can practice yourself to turn the sentence into negative or interrogative form. Okay, after talking about nominal sentence in a simple present tense, now let's discuss verbal sentence. Verbal sentence is a sentence which has the verb. The verb in Indonesia is kata kerja. Jadi kalimat verbal itu adalah kalimat yang menggunakan kata kerja. The example of kata kerja is write, go, sing, walk, and etc. One thing that you have to remember is that the use of verb in a simple present tense is verb 1. Here you can use verb 1 without S for the subject I, you, they, we. And you have to use verb 1 with S or ES for the subject he, she, it. Jadi yang perlu kalian ingat-ingat di sini adalah penggunaan verb 1 dalam simple present. Jadi di sini kalian menggunakan verb 1 yang tanpa S itu untuk subjek I, you, they, we. Sedangkan kalian harus menggunakan verb 1 yang ada S atau ES-nya itu untuk subjek he, she, it. Untuk lebih jelasnya, coba kalian perhatikan pada contoh di video. I write a letter. The verb write here, there is no S. Why? Because the subject is I. The second example, he goes to school. The verb goes, there is ES. Why? Because the subject is he. Now, maybe you can practice by yourself when you have to add S and when you don't need to add S after the verb. Okay guys, finally we have discussed all points of descriptive text, and after this, I hope you can study, you can learn, you can make analysis of descriptive text that I give at the end of the video. Happy studying, my beloved students. Hopefully this video can help you to study descriptive text as the preparation before midterm tests. Bye-bye, see you on the next video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat belajar anak-anak.